Hello, in this video I'll show you how I got from this simple solution to this less simple solution using FreeCad and my 3D printer. Have fun! I already created a selfie stick. This is the one I drew up fast and created, I don't know, within an hour or something like that, just to have one for my DJI Action 5. And now I want to improve upon this. So let's do that. Okay. So the original design is relatively simple. It's just a stick. You have something here to screw the connector in and some extension on the bottom that you can put it onto the desk. It's not very stable, so I want to improve on that, make something that is bigger and which is not attached to the stick itself, so you can put it in this bottom, I don't know how you could call it, this stand or something. And what you also have here is, this was thought to be where you can put in a rope, right, that you can put it around your hand, right. It's a little bit too short, it has to be upper here. I think I already changed that in my design here. But actually I want to totally change that whole design. So already drew up some of the measurements that I made here, which are already working, right? The distance here is, for example, is perfect. It's now sitting fit and you can screw it in here and it sits perfectly. The diameter feels very good, so I want to keep that. I think it's 24 millimeters. And the length is 200 millimeters. I think it's not too long, it's not short and too short right here. This would be a little bit short here. You have room to work with, let's say. What I want to change is I don't like the way I attach the rope here. The idea of the rope was actually originally that you have something to secure your hand, right? If you maybe drop it or something like that, you have still rope to keep on it. Another idea would be maybe to do a rope in a loop, like a fashion around here, then put your hand through and then you can drop it and it will still be attached to your wrist. So I maybe want to keep that in the bottom. But what I want to change is that the way you attach the rope is more flexible. Right now you're limited to this hole. I mean, you could make multiple holes here, right? But you always have to stick it through that inner hole here in the middle of the stick and then pull it out on the side, etc. But what if you just simply have some kind of ribbons here or something where you can make the rope around with a loop again, tighten it, and then you can put it here in every position. What I also want to do is that the top position here, that this thing is, you can rotate, right? It's not fixed on the top in a 90-degree angle. I mean, that's nice, but maybe you want to hold it this way and the camera is still facing you. So, of course, then we need these usual connectors, these here. So that should be on the top, right? Then you can screw here something through. So, like this, right? And now it's also attached and you can rotate it. And then what I want to have some kind of either inward ribbons or outward ribbons. I'm not sure about that. Probably the outwards one are more easy. So this way, maybe. Or maybe this way. I'm not sure about yet. Right, and then continue that here downwards. Until on the bottom you then have some kind of a, I was thinking of a triangle, something like that. Right, it's on the bottom here, and that is sticking out, and then you can have a bottom thingy that has a hole similar to that, right? So you put then this here into that, so, and then it is secured and you have a big bottom stand that cannot flip, so the camera cannot flip over, right? And maybe it's not round, maybe I do some kind of sticks or something, I don't know yet. Okay, so I'm now in my FreeCad, right, version 1.0. I already have here the old drawing of the old stick. As you can see, I already changed some stuff here, wanting to improve on it, added another hole here, but I think I will draw a new version of this. So, okay, let's go here. I called it Chem Stick or Cyber Stick. I call everything that I use this edge design here Cyber. So create a new, go over here, create body, create sketch. I think I have to start from the bottom. Okay, so this is the old design. I just put it here that I can later compare it, but actually I don't want to see that. So remove it. I think let's try first a circle, and then I will do some experiment here. So this will have a 24mm diameter. Now it looks this way. Has something for it. It's an old design, I think. So, I mean, born out of an idea. But the thing is, we can now print it probably here. But these 5mm, that's the question. Can we bridge them? That's a lot to bridge here. Maybe these 5mm are still too much. I tend to think at 2mm would probably be okay to bridge them, but 5 is usually too much. Back on where we were a few minutes ago, but now it's symmetric, right? It starts with that and it ends with that, and then on top you have the connector stuff here. Okay, this is the Cyber B. Let's copy it again. Okay, and now put it in there with Cyber B, and again let's call it Cyber C. And let's redo the Cyber C again. This time with shorter middle parts, because the Cyber C is, or let's call it differently. Let's call it Cyber, not Cyber B, but Cyber Vertical for vertical printing, and Cyber C for rename to horizontal, for horizontal printing. So now we have this. What we now need is a bottom part. We need something where we can, some kind of a stand. Now this is the bottom part, this is the top part, right? And yeah, that's it. Now we go and we print it. Okay, so I want to do an experiment first. Now we need to move it here. So let's move it here a little bit higher, because I want to see how this prints. Now slice plate. How many grams is this? 6.6 grams. I hope I have a little bit left on a spool. Let's remove the support, slice plate again. So now we can test if this actually prints here, what we have here, right? And we see if the tolerances then are working. Okay, let's print that. If there is enough material left, of course. So we are at 97%. And there's not much left on the spool, so perfectly, nearly perfect. Use the last bit of the spool for testing. And it should finish in a few seconds here. 99%. And done. Okay, it looks very good, I think. Okay. Let's check it out. So. Okay. What do we have here? So we have here, first of all, let's check out what the fitting is. Yeah, I think perfect. It's a little bit power that you need to put it in there, but it's not, as you can see, I can easily move it. It's not tight, right? It's the right amount of friction there. And I think it's also fitting correctly. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so let's see, we have here, so. Okay, let's see. But this fits here, but I think the hole, no, that hole fits. This hole fits, okay, there was a problem of matching them together. Oh, I think there might be a problem. As you can see, it tightly fits. I really have problems getting it in there. On the other hand, it's not too bad. I think somewhere there is a problem with the, it's a little bit tight, I have to say. So maybe it could be 0.1 millimeters higher, something like that. I mean, I can't get it in there. So it fits, yes. Oh no, I forgot that. I also need another piece. Wait a second. So beforehand I printed these. That's where you put the screw in. Let's see one that is, let's see, this one is the right length. This one comes here, right? And then on the other side you put the screw in and now you can tighten it. Yes, this works. So it's still movable. I think it could have a little bit less friction here. I think there is it's rubbing here on the edge. Also, in the meantime, I moved these holes 0.2 millimeters towards the outside here. So there's a little bit more room for the connector there to move. Okay guys, I realized there is still a problem with the model as I intended it. And the problem is that if you print these things, not this specific version here, but if you print it horizontally, then we get a problem with the upper part here, because in this area where my mouse is, the angles are higher than 45 degrees, and this will print very badly. It would probably work if this hole would be maybe only 5 millimeters or something like that, maybe even 10. But after that, it will string, meaning that parts of, because it will print along this line, for example, here, and this string might fall off then on the side. And then you have a bunch of strings hanging around here. It will probably print in the end. At least from the outside it will look good, but in inside we will have all this stringing and you have to remove them, etc. What we have to do here is, instead of using a round hole, we use a quadratic one. Okay, same thing here. This one, also that. Also same. Width of 20 millimeters. Close. Now let's see. So this one would print in this orientation, and the angles are going upwards, right? The edge is going upwards. So this is fine. So let's see. Now we'll fit here. Looks very good. I think we can start printing. Okay guys, so in the meantime everything was printed. That's the end result. That's the one for the horizontal printing. Blend in some high contrast pictures of it. That's how it looks. You can now move it this way and of course in all directions. I did some changes in the meantime. I prolonged these connectors here so they are more flexible. I also created a better connector or handle for tightening the screw here. So I have to get it off. So beforehand it was just like this. You put the screw in there, right? Maybe I can show it. So beforehand it was like this. You had a piece of plastic with a round hole and then 6 edge hole for the screws, right? And you put the screw in here. It's a little bit tight, of course. And then you can put it into for tightening the connectors. But it was a little bit hard to handle because it's sometimes there's only a short here and it's a little bit edgy. So what I did, I designed another piece that you can put over it, and then you can simply screw it tight. Very easy to do now. So this one was the horizontal one, and this one was the one that I printed vertically. Oops. And I think I have to say I like this one better than this one, because the one that I had, as you remember, I had to change this in a way that you can print it, right? You cannot print on a round surface horizontally. You have to have some flat area where you can print on, and that's why I removed parts of it, and now it was printing on these flat areas here. But it's now a little bit, it's a little bit hard on the hands, right? It's not, doesn't feel so smooth and so clean. While this here is easier to handle. It also has the advantage that your finger fit better in these holes. I would even say you can probably prolong these spaces here. But that's maybe something for either another video or you can imagine it. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. So long.